Okay, this is the second attempt at my second video. I had had a bit of a problem there with the shaky cam. Anyways, same T-shirt, same cup of coffee. How much time did elapse? Basically, just enough to upload the first part of this video onto YouTube and Twitter. And anyways, we'll move on from where we were. We did the Archies through the DCs. Now we'll do the IDW through Valiant. Same week. Anyways, this is Judge Dredd. This is the final issue of The Blessed Earth, which continued from the Cursed Earth and a couple of one-shots. In this reality, Mega City 1 is gone, and Judge Dredd is wandering the wilds trying to find out what happened, and also trying to find out if he is going to die, or if he is, in fact, Judge Dredd. What's going to happen with the girls? What's going to happen with the children of the grass? And why is Judge Anderson being such a biatch? And we'll see where we go from here. Pretty interesting. I'm sure you can be able to pick this up in a trade paperback. This is issue number 8, so I'm going to throw it all into one trade paperback, and we'll check it out. Really good. I'm a sucker for Judge Dredd, and I'm really glad that Mega City 1, I guess is the name of the title, is going to be TV series. Was it Netflix, I think, or one of those places, Amazon Prime. I'm psyched. Hoping they bring Keith Urban back, even if not as a regular, to make like some appearances as Judge Dredd, just to keep it in the same continuity and go from there. Okay, then we're skipping over to Image, and we got Redneck number 9. About, as I've said before, rednecks who are vampires. Really good story. Donnie Cates is doing a fabulous job with this book. You really care about the family. Even though they might not be the nicest guys, they still do care for each other. And that's what this whole story is about. Is what is family? Well, what ties do you have? And can you trust everyone, anyone, whether they're human or undead? Really good. So check it out. The first, I believe the first 6 issues are already out in trade paperback. So pick up those, and if you don't like it, unsubscribe. Okay, Pacific Rim. This was a surprise. I didn't realize this coming out. This is Aftermath. It's from Legendary Comics. Legendary is also doing a Kong of Skull Island comic too, I believe. This is pretty cool. With the movie coming out, I think it's a smart move. Not only in the beginning we find out whatever happened to the Tiger pilots after the war was declared, and you're a hero. And does anyone remember that you were a hero? Does a lot. I think you could read a lot of politics into it. This is what returning veterans probably feel. And go through some of that. And I'm a vet, and I have friends who are vets, some of whom have much more horrific things to recall or forget. But anyways, I digress. Anyways, it's really good. I highly recommend it. I can't remember the author. Kevin Scott writes both parts of it, and Richard Elson is the artist on the first part. The shorter part, the first part's called Aftermath, and that's about the vet pilot and what his life is like, what it could be like. I Am Pentecost is also by Kevin Scott. The Benny LaBelle is the artist on that. And if you remember the first film, the name Pentecost might be familiar. And this shorter story, at least the first part, is about his son. Is that fabulous or what? John Boyega, who even gets a special thanks here in the book. I'm totally psyched. Anyways, so this sort of leads up to when your father was a hero, and you do have something to live up to. Can you do that? And I'm thinking between the comic and the upcoming film, we might find out. Really psyched. Okay, dragging along. As I said last time, I was in Vegas last week, so I didn't pick up any comics. So I'm a couple weeks behind. So I picked up both issue number 3 and issue number 4 of No Surrender, which is the big Avengers event, basically combining all, however many Avenger teams there are, with covert Avengers, U.S. Avengers, the Roselle, New Jersey Avengers, and the Cleveland Avengers, or whoever they are. Anyways, Earth has been taken out of orbit and is being used as a playground for other characters. And it's funny because I was just watching an episode of Rick and Morty where the Earth is taken out of orbit and becomes part of a music competition, intergalactic idols, if you were. And I think that half hour is more entertaining than the 12 issues of this. Although Mark Waid is a really good writer, and I actually am enjoying the series so far. I don't know where they're going to go with it. And what's the deal with Voyager? Isn't she basically Sentry? Wasn't that the whole thing of Sentry? Where I guess he'd been like a founder of the Avengers and like a primary character in all the early Marvel tales that we didn't know about. And he returns, and no one remembered him. And this seems to be the same conceit for this character Voyager, that she was the founding Avengers and everything, and suddenly she comes back. And I don't know. I wonder if perhaps she's kind of a stand-in for the Captain Marvel that we're going to be seeing in the MCU, where there was a character who was apparently active back in the 80s and disappeared and suddenly comes back. So we'll see. It's not bad, but certainly better than that horrific Metals fiasco that DC is putting out, and what a freaking joke. Okay, continuing with Marvel. In the Avengers, we have Avengers Infinity War Prelude, and you pretty much guess that's the poster. You see the Guardians are there. You see Thor, Loki, the Hulk, Iron Spider, Winter Soldier, Black Panther, Iron Man, Whenever I see Black Widow in that blonde wig, it throws me. I was actually going to say, "Ooh, it's Sue Storm." Um, anyway, it looks good. I mean, we'll see what goes on. I don't know if this is a one shot. One of two. My bad. Maybe if I read some of this stuff beforehand. Anyways, let's try to wrap this up. From Oni Press, we have Rick and Morty. Oh my God, I love that show so much. The comics, as with the Simpsons books, the writers try. Oh my God, I'm sorry. You would think after all this coffee, but anyway, lost my train of thought. The writers try their best, just as with the Boom comics with Simpsons. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. They do try to capture the flavor. The characters all seem to be on point, and I'm enjoying it. I recommend the series and recommend the comic. And finally, you have Exo Man of War. This is issue number 11. Exo, or Eric, is now emperor of the planet. And just because you're a hero and you brought everyone together doesn't mean that you're still the most popular guy on the planet. And things are going wrong. And looks like people are trying to. Obviously, once you have power, there's going to be someone who wants you out. And I'm looking forward. This has really been good, and as has been mentioned in other places, Valiant is going to be creating their own universe. They have I think it's a 5-film deal. There's going to be a web thing called Ninjak versus the Valiant universe. And it looks pretty cool. I've only seen teasers and some costumes, and there's been some featurettes showing Deathlock and some other characters. And anyways, Michael Rowe, who some of you may remember from being Deadshot in Arrow, is going to be Ninjak in this one, and it looks pretty cool. I got high hopes for that. So that's good. It's a comic already, and it's going to be, like I said, a web series, and then eventually movies. I think it's Netflix. I get confused. So many places now that are putting stuff out. But it's going to be good. See something besides the Marvel and DC characters actually out there. Fingers crossed. We'll see what goes on. And that's it for me. And hopefully this won't be too long to post. I'll try to do some reviews, although I've said that before. I never get around to them. And I'll try to see you next Wednesday. Same time, same channel. Peace out, Mother Fs.